Hey everybody, this is James John, and we got an exciting episode of Crying in My Car, a podcast for teachers. Now this time, we're going to be doing something a little different. I'm going to be talking about parents in the news. The first thing we get to talk about is kids that are playing sports in school and those unsung heroes called coaches. They're still teachers. Then we're going to be talking about the different parenting styles and how that can affect your kids' success in the classroom. And lastly, we're going to be talking about parents and teachers coming together to lobby to get $10 million for refurbishments in their local school. Stick around. A new episode of Crying in My Car, a podcast for teachers, starts right now. Hey everybody, you are about to watch a brand new episode of Crying in My Car. My name is James. I'm actually the parent, and this is Devin Siebold, who is the actual teacher turned international superstar on social media.
International,
that's right.
By the way, I might have just booked a show in Australia, but side point. So yes, international.
International, yes, if you will, man. Now, I know normally Devin's the one that hosts, but he is letting me host today because we got some things to talk about. It's going to be Crying in the Car Line.
Crying in the car line. I like that.
Yeah,
I like the parent version.
There you go. We're going to do a spinoff.
Yep. You can be the Mork to my Mindy.
Oh, and they're like, who's that?
They have no idea that that was even a spinoff. So
They
that's
don't know.
okay.
Yeah, it's okay. We're old. No, it's fine. Now, usually we want to give you guys something to laugh at because we know that teachers go through a lot. They work very hard and usually aren't supported. So we're that relief for you. We're that comedy just hug that you need in your life every single day.
Yeah.
Well, that's nice, right?
It is.
Comedy hug. There you go.
Just don't want real hugs from me.
Yeah, no.
Very germ-phobic.
Yeah, unless you have a fabric softener to get the static off, Devin.
Throwback to last episode.
There you go. Now, I wanted to bring up the fact that you are doing a great tour right now, the Board Teachers Tour. You're going to all these crazy places. You just added a second show in Hawaii, sir.
Yeah, I think we're adding like three shows now in Canada. And we're staying an extra day in Hawaii because we couldn't do Alaska. We couldn't fly to it. So if you're an Alaska listener, sorry. It'll be soon, but not this particular run because it was literally Hawaii one day, Alaska the next.
That's a lot.
That's a long trip
that is just,
to make happen. So it wouldn't work.
You know what you don't need? Sleep.
No, apparently not. Well, the sun never goes down in Alaska.
So no one's sleeping.
There's no nighttime.
There you go, man. Could you imagine that?
So I just watched Insomnia the other day again.
Great movie.
Have you seen that movie?
Yes, I have. Yes.
I love that movie too. I watched it on a plane. It's funny you say that because I literally like 3 days ago watched Insomnia, and I love that movie. But the whole time I'm like, man, that would really like the first time they go, it's 10 o'clock at night and the sun is like up. I'd be like, no, I don't want to live here.
No, I'm done. Because I don't know if you know this about me. I can't sleep during daylight.
Yeah.
So I can't nap. I don't know why. Like if the sun is up and I can see light, I can't sleep. So I would literally have insomnia for all those months. Like it'd be crazy.
You're literally on the sun is up, so I'm up.
Yeah, that's it. That's me.
Yep.
I wish I wasn't like that. Like I've never been one of those people to be able to go relax and have a nap. Like people talk about it like it's an amazing experience. I've never had it.
I do. I nap.
You nap?
I cat nap or sometimes I coma.
Really? Is it good?
Coma, no. It's a terrible
you
idea.
You wake up like,
what time is it?
What time is it?
Yeah, but cat naps are good. Cat
Just
naps
a quick
are
little
special.
30
20
minutes?
Oh, 20
Gotcha.
right in there, the sweet spot.
I imagine as a teacher, it was like sleeping in my car.
Yeah, well, I would do that from time to time.
Would you really?
Yeah, so I actually would prop up my head like against the wall in the corner, and I would sit up, and I would just literally go sleep for like 20 minutes.
And just power nap.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I just would have to sometimes. I was so stressed out and exhausted. It wasn't even I need to sleep. It was I need mentally for my brain to turn off and then turn back on. It was the equivalent of pull it out, plug it back in. You know, like that was it.
For us parents is when we go to the bathroom, I need 20 minutes.
Yep.
Just to be by myself. Yep. That's all I need. I'm going to be fine. It's okay.
Yep. Exactly. So that was what I did. But yeah, back to the point, the tour has been going great. Everything's been going good. Can't complain. I'm
glad, man.
Yep.
Now, I wanted to bring something up. Now, you know, a while ago, I started my weight loss journey.
Yes.
I did a program called 75 Hard. It worked. It worked. And we ended right around the holiday. So we took a couple weeks off, man. I didn't go crazy.
Right.
I had like one drink.
Nice.
Like on the program, you don't drink alcohol. And then when I got off of it, I'm like, man, I'm probably going to go crazy. I had one drink.
That you remember.
Yes.
It was an entire fifth of
I didn't say
handle.
I didn't say how big the drink was. I said one drink.
Just straight drink an entire handle of Fireball.
Yeah.
And it was like one. That's just
if the bottle doesn't leave your hand, that's one drink.
Right.
Just so you know.
And let me say, complimenting you, man, I see we've been friends for 11, 12 years now.
Yes.
I see on this days come on Facebook, and bro, you've lost a significant amount of weight.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Yeah, I was a big boy.
Yes.
Yeah, I was a big boy. But I still got weight to lose. So me and the wife decided to do a second round of 75 hard.
So this is the 150 hard.
The 150 hard.
This is the,
It's and I will tell you, man, I've actually inspired some other people that we know to do the program as well. Some comedians, some people that we, behind the scenes here are doing it. And now they're cursing my name because it is a very hard program.
Teachers might be interested in it. I mean,
that's why I
how's
bring
it
it
work?
up.
How's it work?
Okay, 75 hard is this. It's an exercise in mental toughness. So I think teachers already have that in spades. I think they do. What's required of 75 hard is you need to work out 2 times a day for 45 minutes each workout. So I know. Hear me out first. And one of the workouts has to be outside. So let me
outside?
Let me explain. Let me tell you what me and my wife have worked out.
And for that, I'm out.
I just got Shark Tank. And let me tell you how we do it. It does sound hard, and it is a difficult program. I'm not going to lie to you. But what me and my wife do, we wake up before we have to go to work, and we do a 45-minute workout together.
Okay.
And I will say the essential part of me being successful at it is having an accountability partner.
Yes.
Having someone do it side by side with you really helps because you're going to need motivation.
Now, I'm going to relate to the teachers real quick. When I taught middle school, didn't go until 8:30.
Yeah.
And that one, I would work out occasionally in the morning, and my day was different.
Yes.
I mean, there was an energy level there that I did not have on days I just woke up, ate breakfast, and went in. If I got a chance to go to the gym, 45 minutes to an hour, obviously you do 45.
Yes.
That really did ease the stress of the day.
And
I felt more awake.
And it sounds weird to say that, but if you do get up and you're more active in the morning, you will have a better energy level throughout the day. Yeah. And I found that. Like, I'm up, I'm more coherent, I'm awake, and my brain works better when I get up and do that. So I get up in the morning with my wife, we do a 45-minute workout, and then we go to work, okay? We come home, and then our outside workout is a brisk walk. Not a leisurely one. We walk at a pretty deliberate pace. Yeah. And then we catch up and we actually bond during that time.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's like, hey, what did you do today? What's your biggest challenge? What did you feel today? Were you sore? What happened? Yeah. What can we do different tomorrow? So we use that time for that.
So I will say this. Teachers do this a lot. So I actually, when I taught high school, I would work out after school, but there was a group of teachers that wanted to lose weight, and they got together every day after school and they walked the track.
Yes.
Yeah, so that could be something that teachers do,
Absolutely.
Right? 45 minutes walking the track afterwards, and you have an accountability partner.
Yes.
You say, "Hey, Debbie, hey, Kyle, let's go out and let's every day we'll plot this." And obviously you have to arrange for like times where you got after school meetings and stuff like that.
Yes.
But at this particular time, we'll meet here, we'll walk the track.
Yes. Yeah. And the other part of 75 hard is you have to drink throughout the course of the day a gallon of water.
Oh.
Yes. So that's 8 bottled waters of the 16 ounce.
I will give you 16 ounces and a Diet Coke. Do you take the offer?
And I will say I'm a person that drinks a lot. So that wasn't the most challenging part for me. My wife, man, that's hard for her.
I drink so much water throughout my day.
Yes.
And I mean, you know who I owe it to? Tom Brady.
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady said he drinks like 2 gallons of water a day, and he relayed it to Charles Barkley. And Charles Barkley said it changed his entire day drinking that much water.
It's true.
And he lost some weight and feels really good. And I heard that on Inside the NBA on TNT, and I was like, maybe I should try. And I wake up in the morning, first things first, I get a giant glass of water.
There you go.
I mean, right off the bat. Then I have breakfast, giant glass of water. Lunch, giant glass of water. Dinner, giant glass of water. And then before bed, I slow it down a little bit because I don't want to be up all night, going to the restroom. But I try big glasses of water.
I thought to do the same thing about, going to the restroom throughout the night, but I'm 50 now, so I'm going to do that regardless.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes you don't even get up.
And I don't. But I'm glad you brought that out about Tom Brady because, you know, fun little fact that people don't know, when he stopped drinking 2 gallons of water, that's when he got divorced.
Yes.
So, yeah, drink water.
There it is.
It'll keep you together.
People don't know that.
They don't. So you got to drink a gallon of water throughout the day, which is very doable, by the way. That's 8 bottled waters. And when you wake up and go to bed by 9, you're good to do that. And the other part that I really like, and I think teachers would appreciate this, you're required to read 10 pages of nonfiction a day.
So I've read that before.
Yes.
I read your 75 hard.
Yes.
And that part, why has it got to be nonfiction? Is it just to expand your knowledge on topics?
That is exactly right. He wants you to be reading something that's going to benefit your life.
Okay. All right.
Yes. He wants you to learn something while you're going through this process. It's not just about the actual health part of it or the benefits of it. It's about mental toughness.
Yeah.
Once you start doing it, and he talks about it, you get to a certain point in the actual program, you start feeling really accomplished. Like half of it is mental with us when it comes to our goals, it comes to our careers. When you start thinking I can do anything, you truly can.
Yeah.
It's that powerful. So he wants you to feel like, man, this is hard, but look what I'm able to accomplish. So if I can achieve this program, what else can I do that I thought I couldn't do?
That's true.
And that's how it pushes you.
And I think the reading too probably centers and de-stresses you a little bit.
It certainly does.
I've been on a massive reading kick since Christmas.
Okay.
Christmas, right before Christmas, I bought The Wager. I had some extra Barnes & Noble money, and I went ahead and bought The Wager because it was their book of the year, and I read it. It was amazing. It reminded me of Endurance. If you've ever read that book. Great book. No. Great book. And so I read The Wager, and I was enthralled, and that's the same author that did Killers of the Flower Moon. And so then I was like, I haven't seen that movie. I want to read that. That was just sucked me in right away. And I finished that book in like 2 days. I was reading it on a plane and reading it in the hotel room. And then I was like, man, I'm really on a reading kick. And then I went back. I had a few books that I'd bought, but I hadn't got to yet. The next book in Hunger Games, the green one, Songbirds and Snakes or whatever, I'm reading that. That's great. But I've got a list now. So, but I can tell you right now that I used to de-stress with a little bit of video games. I used to de-stress with a lot of outside the TV, things like that. But man, a book, I don't know why, but it really does. You're focused. Your mind goes to a different place. Everything outside of you doesn't exist, and I love it.
There's a reason that happens, my friend. When we watch, let's say our phone, we watch a show on TV, our brain doesn't have to work.
Nope.
Everything's been given to you. The dialogue, the visual, everything's just there. When you read a book, it forces your mind to start telling its own story and putting the pictures with those words.
That's why I go through TikTok with my eyes closed. I try to envision the dance they're doing. I'm like, that's a good song. That's probably a hip, place, left, right.
Shuffle foot.
Shuffle foot. And then, it's just an extra way to get your brain working.
I never thought about that.
That's in the 85 hard. I don't know if you're not there yet.
It's going to have a blindfold on at home. Honey, what are you doing? Shh, I'm watching TikTok. That's awesome. Okay, so the last part is you have to take a picture each morning of your actual body. So it's a great physical reminder because it'll help motivate you when you look at day 1 where you were, then you look at day 75. And I got this moment. I looked and saw the difference. I was like, man.
Bro, you posted the difference. And I was like,
look at that.
All right.
Yeah, all right. I see what you're doing out there. I see you. Yeah. So I'm excited to be doing another leg of it, man.
I was so worried for you.
Why?
Because I was like, if he loses any more weight, he won't be funny.
Oh, because
you have so many good jokes about being a big guy.
Man. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah,
it's true.
You can't be up there looking like Tyson Beckford, being like, "So the buffet, right?" And they'll be like, "What? What buffet?
No, boo.
The salad bar."
Boo. He's lying. He's vegan. Yeah. That's the aspect of doing 75 hard, all those things. And if anybody wants any information about it, if you need an accountability partner via online, let me know. Reach out to me, man. James John, comedian on Instagram and Facebook. I'd be happy to help you guys out because I know how tough it is to actually get started and stick to a workout routine. I've tried so many and failed, but I'd love to hear from you guys and I'd love to help you if you want it.
And I like that it's laid out. Like, you don't have to buy anything.
You don't.
There's
That's
so many
the cool part.
Yeah, you go through TikTok and they're like, "You want to look like me? Purchase this PDF," and it's like,
the PDF says, "Buy my products."
Yes, it
Wait
does.
a minute.
Try harder. Or it says, "Here's my 75 hard workout." What? That was free.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Yeah. So that's what I'm up to now.
Awesome.
Also, before we go on to the actual parent things that I have for you, I'm working on something, Devin, and I learned it from doing my workout program. I'm learning something that I struggle with. Balance of life.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I have a lot of different jobs. I'm blessed to have them all. I'm not complaining about it, but having 2 TV shows, radio, this podcast, another podcast,
Brag
a radio show.
Yeah.
And
James,
I do
we only have
comedy.
45 minutes. Stop,
Okay.
please.
I'm sorry. But I get to do things I love, and I love all the jobs that I'm blessed to have. But it's hard to find balance. I'm still a father and a husband at the same time. So
Hold on. Let me preface this.
Okay.
Because I want to hear what you have to say on finding balance.
Okay.
But I want to give you one little thing that happened to me for the teachers.
Okay.
We put out a clip. I put it out on my Facebook saying, "Hey, you should get involved in charities."
Yes.
Did you see the clip? Did you see the comments?
No.
So they were not nice to me. Teachers were like, "I don't have time to get involved in charities. I don't have time to even spend with my own family. I don't have time to, my stress levels through the roof. Why would I do that? Why would I do this? Why would I do that?" And obviously, I'm not talking about, hey, after work, go volunteer at the homeless shelter for 4 hours. I'm talking about, hey, donate $10 or start up a initiative to get other people to donate, or, little things that don't require time. But I got skewered. And I get it. There's a lot of stress out there with time management. Now, sometimes I think that we can step on our own feet sometimes with the time management. Now, I want to get back to you. So continue.
That's a great part about the program that I did, because what it taught me doing all those different things and losing weight and still being able to check those things off every day, I learned I'm not nearly as busy as I thought I was.
Yep.
That's a good point I want to bring up. If you can do all those things and be successful, you start to learn, wait a minute. Well, if I don't watch TV for 2 hours a night and I get up and do something different, then I do have time to do this, or I do have time to start this project that I've never started but I've always talked about doing.
Yes.
It's time management.
Yep.
It's about sacrifice, not even sacrifice, about prioritizing. What's more important, this goal or me sitting here vegging out for 2 hours?
Right.
So, yeah, that's also a great part of it. And I know teachers go through that because at some point you want to turn off. I get it. But that outside workout will definitely help you do that.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, it will.
Yeah. So are you finding that life balance?
I am, man. Because here's something I can say about teachers giving you pushback about, I don't have time with my family. Let's say you do go volunteer. Take your family.
Yeah. Show your kids. Help other people.
Take stock in your own life and say, hey, man, these guys are really going through it. Let's go do something as a family together and give back to them. And there's things that don't even cost you money. Like as a teacher, you could set up a donation box for certain things that kids may need that are underprivileged that people can bring to your classroom. You don't even have to leave or do anything.
Right, yeah. Food drives, canned food drives, things like that. Get the kids involved for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see things like
Absolutely.
that for sure.
So that's just my 2 cents.
Yeah. It is difficult to find time sometimes. Some things, it's also difficult to find motivation, It's
true.
And I have to sometimes set up little triggers and go, all right, this is what I have to do. So for the new tour, I've had to write a lot of new material.
Yes.
Now, if you just tell me, hey, write new material, I don't fit that in my day.
Yeah.
In my mind, I'm like, well, I'm busy. I've got to do this content. I have to do the podcast. I have to do this. I got kids coming home. I don't have the time. So my happy place, and I'm letting out a secret.
Okay.
Okay. This is weird. Don't get mad at me.
I won't get mad.
My happy place is the boardwalk at Epcot. The water, the atmosphere, the wind, the sounds of people. I love the boardwalk.
I ain't mad at all. Boardwalk is beautiful, man.
It's free to go there.
Yes.
But I like to write there. And so I sit down and write. But what gets me to go there is I will set a breakfast reservation at the local restaurant there. And it's cheap. It's like $10 for breakfast. But I set a reservation, and if I miss that reservation, it's a $25 penalty. So I have to go. And so I wake up in the morning and I'm like, I don't know if I want to write. I'm bored. I'm tired. Maybe I'll just lay around. I go, there's $25. I gotta get up.
I gotta go.
I go and I sit and I have some coffee and have some eggs, and then I go sit on the boardwalk and I force myself to do the work that I needed to do for the tour.
You hold yourself accountable.
Yeah, and I know that sounds incredibly bougie to people that are not from Orlando, but it's not. It's really just a place you can go sit down.
Yeah.
But
but it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. It's like going to your local park.
Yeah.
But we have Disney.
Yeah.
And it costs nothing. You just go there. If you've never been,
one of the few things at Disney that won't cost you anything.
Yeah, go to the boardwalk, walk around. It's beautiful.
Yeah, so I'm finding that balance. I mean, like when the kids moved out, me and the wife have found time together.
Yeah.
And we will just basically go to a mall. We will go to somewhere that's not very expensive, like you said, and just talk.
Yeah.
Walk around. Just get out of the normal scenery or environment that we're usually in. And that's my coming down now. That's my balance. I'll spend time with the kids. We'll do some activity as a whole family still. Like having them all come home from college and whatnot, and we'll go do things together. So I'm learning balance, and I'm getting closer, and I'm forming stronger bonds with my family.
Yeah,
that way. So,
oh yeah, absolutely. So, I think so too.
The balance, and now that I ride roller coasters, I can actually ride them with the whole family.
That's true.
Yes,
good
man.
to have you aboard,
look at that.
my friend.
I'm a part of that too.
Excellent.
So I did want to ask you something before we get started here.
Okay.
Because my wife did this. We talk about all the segments of teachers out there, the different ones and whatnot. And I try to bring up ones that we don't readily talk about, like home ec. Like those teachers don't exist anymore, and I think that's a mistake. But anyway, and shop teachers and people who taught trades and stuff like that. I wanted to ask you about the private tutor.
Okay.
Have you ever been a private tutor?
I have. It didn't go well. But yes.
Bad kid?
No, it was when I was a kid. I was in high school. I was tutoring a younger child.
Oh, that's a bad idea to me.
Terrible idea.
That's up to.
But as an adult, I have never done the private tutor route, and I don't like the pressure. Because you
have to get results.
I have to get results.
Yes.
And a lot of times, sometimes people want a private tutor for their child, and they go, I really want my child to have this private tutor because they're not excelling in class. And there's deeper seated issues or maybe undiagnosed things that aren't really being discussed, and I'm not given the help that I need, and I don't want to be having to run on a treadmill that I can't get anywhere.
Yes. Yes.
And so I don't know. I don't know that I would be suited for the private tutor life because there's too much responsibility of you did it. It's they have an F. They failed because of you. Your
job is to make them smart.
Yes,
and they failed.
Yes, and so I applaud teachers that do it. A lot of people think it's an easy way out. I personally think it's a harder way out.
Gotcha.
I think it's a harder way to teach.
It's pressure.
Yeah, I think it
definitely is.
But because they're literally paying you.
Yes.
And they want results. I mean,
it's usually my wife did it for a while for a service, and it was good pay.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's that much more pressure. Like, man, I paid good money. For this.
Plus, I don't think I have the patience for it.
Really?
Yeah. Like when it comes to homework, like Kate's much better at dealing with homework than I am because I sit there and they're like, I don't know the answer. And I go, it's right there. Okay. And I'm like, this is the answer. And then I tell them why. And she's like, they have to figure it out for themselves. I'm like, I told them why. It's like, yeah, but they didn't figure it out. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. Okay. All right. What next one? And they're like, I don't know the answer. I'm like, it's right there. And so I'm like, I don't know if I could do it.
I love the fact that Kate is tutoring you on how to be a teacher.
She's a very good teacher.
Is she really?
Yes, way better than I would have been.
What?
In terms of tutoring, I think it's a general class. I can get their attention more, get the message across, and have a good impact.
But a one-on-one?
One-on-one, I struggle.
Oh,
I don't know. I'm not good at the one-on-one.
That's funny. All right, man. Well, I just wonder if you ever done it, man, and how well it went for you.
Thought about it, but...
Well, I got some parent topics for us, and I think I got some things for teachers and parents that can both find some commonality in.
Let's hear it.
Yeah, and I try to find the things we can talk about that have to do with school.
I can tell you already, you're wrong.
Okay, all right. It's like being at home. Okay, perfect. I got some things that I think the teachers go through and parents, and let's talk about youth sports, meaning school sports. Now, I know you dabbled a little bit in school sports, and by dabbled, I mean you were very good at it.
Yeah. Went to state championship, ranked fifth in the
college,
state of Florida.
Collegiate, if you will.
Let's keep going.
NBA All-Star.
I didn't say it. You did. There were rumors of my name on the ballot.
Gotcha. You turned them down. Hey, it's fine.
Right.
Let LeBron have it this year. Yeah. Clearly, he needs
old
it.
Steph.
Old Steph.
Yeah, old Steph.
That's what I call him because I know him. Well, I want to go over some things that I think are funny and relatable. It's definitely when it comes to being a parent of a student athlete.
Okay.
Now, have you ever looked at your mom or dad, the person that was there for you during that time, and thanked them?
Not as much as I probably should have.
Because think back to all the things they had to do for you. Your uniforms, driving you to practice, driving you to every game, making sure you had that one shoe that you had to have or you couldn't play.
Yes.
Now, I can't play it if I don't have these shoes, Mom. I've got to have these Jordans, right? I remember all that stuff with my kids. So I just wanted to shout out all those parents out there.
I'm starting on golf.
What?
I got my boys doing golf after school.
So did you just say to yourself, I want to pick the most expensive sport?
Yeah, pretty much.
And yachting's not available yet.
Yachting is not available.
So you just picked golf for your kids.
I love golf, and I want them to love golf too.
Gotcha.
And if you get good at golf, man, there's a lot of scholarship opportunities out
there. There is.
Yeah, so I went with golf.
Okay, well, good.
Yeah.
You got them involved in some kind of extracurricular thing. You're doing a good job. But this is all about why being a parent of a student athlete can be crazy at times.
Okay.
It definitely can. Now, here's what they say about this. Do you know why it's a good thing for parents to experience their kids playing sports?
No.
It prepares us for that inevitability when our kids are going to leave home.
Oh?
Walk with me on this.
Okay.
When we're at that game, let's say basketball, because that's what you play. There's a gentleman there that is wearing a black and white shirt, and he is in charge of your kid's immediate future, and you can't say one thing about it.
Yep.
That is life once your kid moves out.
You got the ref telling them what to do, and you got the coach, and the parents have to sit down and go, why isn't my kid playing? And it's out of their hands?
Yes, absolutely. So that prepares us when our kids eventually leave the house. Because we hope that we've prepared them and taught them everything they need to know, and it's going to be okay. But as we know, sometimes kids need help.
Yes. And sometimes the parents take it personally too, by the way.
Yes.
I was a coach for a while.
Whoa.
Yeah, I coached junior varsity, assistant coach of varsity basketball at Lake Region High School.
So let me tell you what you probably heard. Why isn't my kid playing?
Yes.
Why is my kid not the star of the team?
Why didn't my kid come back on the team bus? Oh, I don't know.
Oh, wow, that's not one of our kids. Okay, well, those things can be a little crazy at times, but I wanted to talk to you about the 10 things this woman says can drive a parent crazy.
Okay.
And the first thing was, why is my kid not playing?
Why is my kid not playing?
Why does my kid not get equal playing time like all the other kids? First off, there's usually 30 kids on a team.
Yep.
How can each kid get equal playing time? There's not enough minutes in the game.
And you're telling me they're better than the other kids?
Yes, the one that scored 20 points.
Yeah. It's like, okay, all right. We want to win, maybe.
Gotcha.
You know?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And the other thing, and I think it's more prevalent today than anything else, and this is in the classroom too, when you're in charge of kids, why are you talking to them that way? Yes.
Yeah. So that one, coaches, so.
Yeah. You were a coach.
There were times where I had to get vocal.
Yes.
You know, and it's for motivation.
Yes.
You know, and there are some coaches, though, that get very vocal.
We'll say that.
Very vocal.
Very vocal.
Now, my 7th grade coach, he called us some things.
Yes.
He threw a chair at us.
Was your coach Bobby Knight?
He got ejected 2 or 3 times, maybe 4.
Oh, he was? Okay.
He was Bobby Knight.
Yeah, I was going to say.
It was his idol. And
are you serious?
Oh, my gosh, absolutely.
Yes.
I mean, I'm talking like if our parents knew what was said in the locker room, you know, it's those moments that, you know, I
get that. I've had coaches like that. I played football in the South.
So I kept playing in 7th grade. I hurt my foot, and I kept playing because I was afraid of him and telling him I had hurt my foot.
And you didn't want to disappoint him.
Yeah. So there was 2 more games left, and I played in both those games, and I was in a lot of pain. I kept telling my mom, I was like, I think I'm in a little bit of pain in my foot, you know? Yeah. And then the season ended, and I go, I'm in a lot of pain, just so you know. And she's like, oh, it was broken in 5 places.
Oh, my gosh.
I played 2 games on a foot broken in 5 places.
Did you win those games?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think we did.
I can't remember. I remember seething pain.
I don't know. The chair hit me in the head on the last game, and I lost consciousness. I don't know if we won or not.
But there are some good things for kids to be in sports, as we all know. It does promote social activity. And that's one of the things that kids need nowadays is to learn social, etiquette, if you will, just to be social, period. There's so many kids that will go to appointments, like I said at my wife's doctor's office where she works, they won't speak for themselves, and they're over 18. They still bring the parent in.
Yep.
Kids lack social skills, so, being on a team helps with that.
We live in an individualized society.
Yes.
And so forcing somebody on a team where they have to interact with other people is a very good thing. That's why I put my children in golf, so they don't have to deal with other people, and they can be incredibly selfish and I'm just kidding. Never mind. Go on, James.
Devin, there's a phone call from DCF.
Go on.
All right. And the other thing it teaches kids is they can't always be in charge. You have to be able to work well with others.
Yes,
because that's a great, preparation for life itself. Yeah, you're going to have to learn to work with others. You're going to have coworkers. Yeah. How you interact with them is going to determine how successful you can be.
Think about this. The best of the best in the NBA have coaches.
Yes.
And not just a coach. They have several coaches. My friend was a skills coach for Chris Paul.
Wow.
And you're like, Chris Paul needs a skills coach? Yes, he still has to take direction from somebody on what he needs to improve, how he can get better, how he can win the game and win more games. And that's teaching kids at a young age. Look, there's always something to be learned. There's always ways that you need to improve, and you need to take direction from people that know the game better than you.
That's right. Yep. That's right. And so I want to shout out also, before we end that topic, is to all the coaches out there, because we don't talk about those teachers a lot, because they are teachers. Yes. At school. They are. They teach stuff like, what do they do again?
But no, we had coaches for sure.
Absolutely.
Now, I will say this too: the act of being a coach is one of the least appreciated positions in the school, and I mean that because the amount of pay that you actually make. If you don't believe me, you can go look up pay scale of coaches in your school district, and you'd be shocked. The reason being is I was the assistant coach for basketball. I can tell you, between driving to and from the practices, spending hours of my time going through game tape, going to all the games themselves, staying after the games, before the games, making sure everything was taken care of, making sure the kids had all their rides home.
That's right.
My hourly pay for coaching was probably 50 cents an hour.
Yep. Absolutely.
I mean, 50 cents, if you're looking at an hourly.
Absolutely.
My stipend was so small. And not only that, but the worst part is that school districts consider stipends extra money, and they tax it 30%. Yeah, so it's
that's wrong, man.
Yeah, so for every $1,000 I would make, they take $300.
Gotcha.
And it's gone. They take that money and you never see it again. But yeah, so I remember coaching, and I remember I sat down and was like, man, I'm losing a lot of money on this.
You are.
And that was just the way it
you're
worked.
Like, man, I'm losing a lot of money at coaching. I'm gonna do something better, like teaching.
Yeah. Or join the booster club so I can siphon money off the top.
Wow. He's joking, IRS.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. I would. But no, yeah, the coach is very, very underappreciated, and also a very highly stressful position.
Gosh, yes.
Their coaches will have losing seasons, but the public, the newspapers, the school, they put the pressure and go, what are you doing?
And there's certain states like Texas, let's say you're a football coach, it's even bigger pressure.
Oh my gosh, Texas? Are you kidding?
Yes.
The search for a football coach in a Texas football environment, that's
it's like finding an NFL.
It turns into American Idol.
Yeah, it does.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
Hey, I think what you're doing is great. We all think it's great. Yeah, it's awesome. So shout out to all the coaches out there and parents of school kids that are doing sports. It's great. I mean,
yeah, it is.
Definitely have it. And look at them. They can be like Dev. Perfect. Now I want to talk about parenting styles, and I want to do it for a reason.
Okay.
Because I'm going to read you the different kind of parenting styles, because I want you to then comment and tell me how many times you interacted with this kind of parent.
In a school system? Sure.
Yeah. Now, have you ever heard of free range parenting?
I've bought the eggs. And is that at Aldi? I got them at Aldi.
Aldi, yeah. That's where they have it. Whole Foods and Aldi. It's free range
parenting. No, I've not heard of free range parenting.
Okay, here's a synopsis.
It sounds to me like a Colorado thing. the parents with the big hats and the Stanley Cups and the Ugg boots.
Yeah, Ugg boots. Yeah,
and,
yeah.
That's a free range. My child's free range is yours. Mine's hormone free. I don't think that's possible.
It is now.
They do have hormones.
Yeah.
We took them all out.
And every one of the Colorado parents have read a study. Listen, I read a study.
Yeah, I don't know if you read it, but I read it.
Yeah.
Actually, somebody read it to me
Yeah.
on TikTok, but they weren't reading it. They had read it from heard of somebody else who read it on Reddit.
Yes, right. So have you read it?
No.
No, not at all. Well, free-range parenting, they say, is a practice that allows children to learn from their own choices without parental intervention. That's what we call a mistake.
Yes.
Yes.
I've heard of this.
Yeah. Hey, he's about to touch that fire. Should we say anything? No. He needs to learn.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's like, so you're in flames right now. Now, there is a thing that we would normally do to put the fire out.
Yes.
Can you figure it out? Do you know?
You know what it is?
I'll wait.
First off, how do you feel? Hot.
Yeah. I've argued this before.
Okay.
I think free range parenting is a way of busy parents to get out of actually parenting.
That's right on the nose. That's what I think as well.
I think it is. I commented that on somebody's Facebook a while back. A lot of people agree with me. A lot of people did not. And I'm sure that people are going to think the same thing listening to this. Some will agree, some will not.
Yeah.
But letting a child fail is one thing.
Yes.
But you have to set them up to succeed first. You go, hey, just so you know, if you touch that, you will burn and it's going to be hot. And then they touch it and they go, ow. It's like, okay, so what did you learn? You learned that I'm telling you something that is true.
Yes.
And you need to listen to what I'm saying because I'm providing good advice.
And I have your best interest at heart.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that. But there are going to be people who are probably fans of this kind of parenting to be like, you don't understand how I parent my, wait, where's my child? You don't get it.
So there's a group on Facebook. And we talked. And it got 14 likes, so I can assume it is scientifically accurate.
That's right. Yeah. So there.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, free-range parenting is one type of parenting style, and I think you've experienced those kind of parents.
Yeah.
You have.
Yeah.
You haven't, actually, because they don't show up.
So I have had the parents that go, oh, well, they're old enough. And when I go, hey, your child's failing, they go, yeah, I know. And I go, okay, but they're failing. And they go, yeah, I know. They're old enough to fail. They're just let them fail. And I go, okay. And that's not what I would consider, I don't know.
A good parenting technique.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, thank you for letting me know they're failing. What can I do to try to, have that not happen?
Right.
Yeah. Gotcha. This is all the other types of parenting techniques or styles, if you will, and tell me if you've ever encountered these. There is authoritative, authoritarian, permissive, and uninvolved and neglectful. Now, I'll go over what each one is. Authoritative is when parents have specific expectations, but they're clear and collaborative. They help their children solve problems and allow natural consequences to impact them. Communication is a key feature of this style.
What's that one called?
Authoritative.
So I know authoritative parents.
Yes.
I've seen authoritative parents and those I think you risk I don't know. I don't think it's a winning scenario.
Really, you think it's too much? I'm subjecting too much power to my kid.
So I've always said that it's too much power. So what do you mean by that?
Well, meaning you're saying that I'm subjugating my kids to my authority all the time.
Yeah. So what it is, I think, anyways, I noticed this because I went to a private school, and in a private school, all the kids were caged, morally speaking.
Yes.
And what I mean by that, they kept them from doing, you can't do that. You can't do that. And the second they left the private school, it was like opening the cages in a zoo, and the kids went wild.
Yes.
And did everything that their parents told them not to do, and so much more terrible things.
Yes.
Because they hadn't been lightly exposed to it. I think the authoritative parents sometimes really hammer home, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this. And then it creates a child that just wants only to do that.
Because they never got to do it.
They
keep telling me, don't do it, don't do it.
You don't get on that coaster. You can't get on that roller coaster. I'll tell you right now, I'm going to want to get on the roller coaster. But if you go, hey, that roller coaster, it's if you want to get on it, here's what you can expect. Maybe we try a smaller roller coaster. Maybe we work our way up to the bigger roller coaster. You know, because then it's like, I want it. And I felt that was what I witnessed.
And how many times as parents do we hear other parents doing that? No.
Yeah.
Like, whoa, okay, all right.
Yeah. Or a no and a reason why would be a little bit better, you know? Yes.
And that's more authoritarian style.
Oh, okay.
Authoritative, they will collaborate with the kid. They will tell them, they'll reason with them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Authoritarian is no.
Oh, okay.
There's no room for negotiation.
That's the one authoritative, I think, works if there's reason.
Look, I have clear expectations for you. I have goals, and here's things I want you to do, but here's why. And we can talk about it. But
authoritarian is...
Yeah, that's the one that a lot of us grew up with. Yeah. As a kid, we didn't have certain things like video games, rights, or, opinions. Well, we didn't have those things.
It's a delicate balance because I see a little bit of that, to be honest with you, in the parenting styles of myself and my girlfriend, Kate. She has a little bit of an authoritarian, and I'm a little bit more liberal, not free range, but grass fed.
Yes,
and
farm to table,
farm to table.
Yeah,
and it's a very good balance.
Absolutely,
because she sometimes is like no, and I go, okay, how about just a little, and let them get a little. It's like no TV before bed, and I go, all right. Let's just do 10 minutes and we'll have Alexa count down the 10 minutes and then they'll get a little bit. It's not, you're going to stay up all night watching whatever you want. And I'm not trying to be the good parent that always gives them something because I'll definitely step in. But also it's like, hey, you had a good day. You deserve a little bit of a reward. Let's go with that, And
it creates a trigger with the kid. If I'm good, if I do something great, I'll get a reward.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Because that's what we did with our kids. You make the grades, we'll buy you the things you want for Christmas.
Absolutely.
And I am broke. Smart kids, man. Okay, then the next parenting style that we've all seen, permissive. This is the parent that will try to be the kid's friend instead of being the parent.
So I've seen that, and that never works.
Yes.
It has never worked.
No.
You are setting your child up for failure.
You are, man.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. We love our kids. We want them to be happy, but it's not our job as a parent to give them whatever they want. I'm not supposed to be your friend. I'm supposed to be the person preparing you to go out into the world and be a productive citizen.
Yeah.
That's my job as a parent. It pains me that sometimes you're angry with me and you don't understand, but everything I do for your own well-being. So I can't be your parent and your friend.
Yeah.
Doesn't work.
I'm going to check you a little bit on that.
Okay.
I think it's okay to be friendly with them.
Friendly.
I think the problem is when parents try to come down to the age of the child.
No.
And be the cool one with them. The backwards hat. What's up, my dudes?
Yeah,
we're just here.
Yeah.
But I had parents that I would go over to sleepovers and they'd be like, you guys want to drink? I'm like, no, we don't. And
wow.
The kid's like, yeah, we drink. We have fun. We drink. My mom's cool. And let me tell you right now, that child never grew up to be anything because the parent never had any guidelines of what was right, what was wrong. And a lot of times they wind up in jail sometimes.
Kids need parameters.
Hey, it's cool, man. We'll do whatever. Yeah, it's fine. It's like, no, it's not fine.
Yeah.
You got to learn to be a parent. Or I'll tell you what sometimes happens. Sometimes those kids then grow up to be parents and they grow up to have terrible children because they try to do the same thing and they don't understand what it is to parent because they never saw a parent. They saw a friend.
That's right. I'm a friend though. I'm really cool though, aren't I?
Yeah.
You guys can both go to jail together. That's awesome. And the last style, and you touched on it already, is the uninvolved or neglectful. Hey, your kid's failing class. Oh yeah, well, he's old enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, no skin off my back. Yeah.
Who? Your child? Which one?
So you have one child. For real?
Now, Mari said he wasn't mine. Yeah, so yes, I absolutely. Those unfortunately,
all of them you've seen.
Yes, unfortunately sometimes it's a bad scenario. Now, I think I kind of took a different stance on it, and it is strong parenting. So my dad wasn't there in the beginning.
Yes.
In the beginning, my father, the Siebold name, was not there.
Got it.
I took that as a learning experience. So sometimes I've seen kids come out of it and they go, yeah, my parents aren't really there, but you know what? I got this. And sometimes there's kids that go, I'm not going to be like them. And they see this loser.
That's right.
They see a loser. I saw a loser early on. I said, that guy's a loser.
Yep.
He's not doing it right, and I'm going to do it better.
Yep.
Now, I am a dad.
Yep.
I am involved. I am there. I love my children to death.
Yes.
Kiss them, good night, take them to school in the morning. That's the goal.
I definitely did the same thing.
Yeah.
I will say this, though. Part of the balance we talked about earlier is also parents that have to do certain things because they need to put, food on the table. So they work a lot. And I saw a great quote. I want people to keep this in mind. It says the only person that will remember that you worked late 10 years from now is your kids.
Yep.
And that's that hit hard.
Yeah.
Because I missed a lot when my kids were little, and thank God my wife was the person she is because I was the one working so she could stay home with them.
Yeah.
It was a huge sacrifice, but one that I don't regret because I firmly believe that my wife being home with my children when they were small is what led them to academic success. There was someone there when they got home from school that was like, okay, what's your homework? Let's sit down. Let's do it. Do you understand? Do you have questions? Let me help you with it. That paid off in dividends because all my kids, all 4, got college scholarships. I brag about them all the time because so proud of what they achieved, man.
And that's true, man. And I take that to heart. I've realized that too. Even with this touring schedule, so we'll have a show on Sunday night, and I want to be there Monday.
Yes.
And so I have everybody always makes fun of me, but they go, "What time you flying out tomorrow, Siebold?" And I'm like, 5 a.m.
That's right.
And I'll be home.
Yes, right.
And I will be there to see my kids, and that is all that matters, And they're like, "Oh, I fly out at 2," and I'm like, "I'm not doing 2. I'm doing 5 a.m." And
I will say that is true because when we would do shows and we'd be somewhere for a run, they would give us a hotel and we could stay Saturday night and leave Sunday. We would leave
go through the
Saturday.
night.
We're driving.
Yeah.
Bro, it's 16 hours. Cool. Let's do it.
See you in 16 hours.
Yeah.
That was it. Yep.
That time is precious. You can't get it back.
Absolutely.
So I wanted to end on a good note, man, because I want teachers to know that there are parents out there who truly support them and want to do what they need to do to make sure that not only is the teacher successful, but the student is as well. And it's definitely where me and my wife came from. I've told countless stories about all the great teachers that my kids had. Shout out to you guys. So I wanted to bring up something that was developed by a professor named Shannon Giffen. She created this workshop that parents and teachers can attend together to figure out how they can work better.
Oh, okay.
The thing, and you know what it came down to? Communication.
Yeah.
Communication.
Yep.
Just the fact that there wasn't enough communication between the parent and teacher so they could all get on the same side. They always would, it became a thing where they always thought they needed to be combatant. Yeah. And they don't. Like literally teachers and parents want the same thing. They want the student to be successful. Bottom line, no matter what they need to do to get that kid there. So they started a newsletter that went directly to the parent that the parent can actually comment and make and reply to. And that's how they started communicating. Now, something really cool happened. This was in Chicago. And there is a parent named Cicely Carroll. And I bring this up for a reason. She got with this school and they started to figure out that the communication was breaking down and they started this newsletter. Parents got involved. And then the parents started talking to the teachers about asking, what resources are you not getting? What things can we help improve to make sure that our kids get a better education? Well, the buildings that they were in were run down. They needed new resources, books. I mean, this is the same story that you've heard. Now, the district in this Chicago school said there's no money. But because these teachers and these parents found a way to communicate and work together, they lobbied and got $10 million.
Wow.
At a time where they were like, there's no money, there's no budget.
So the district did have the money.
Yeah. Wow.
That reminds me of Dave. You ever seen the movie Dave? Where he's like, so we don't have enough money for the orphanage? And they're like, no. And he's like, bring the books. And then they sit through the books. It's like, all right, we can cut this, cut that. Yeah. So the money was there. It's just they needed the motivation. And parents just pointing it out. Okay. Teachers just pointing it out. Okay. Parents and teachers.
Yes.
All right, we got to do something.
And I will say there is power that parents and teachers do have when they get together and lobby together because there are certain things that school officials need. They're called votes. Yes. And if you make them look bad and it's an election year, yeah, you got a little bit of power and leverage out there. So I just wanted to bring a story to light that showcase that parents and teachers coming together can make true change.
And I think we need more of that because a lot of times these school board meetings are the parents versus the teachers.
That's what it becomes.
And it really is and it's wild, but, sometimes the positivity and just talking, I made it a point, we had to do 10 call logs. We had to log 10 a week of talking to parents.
Yes.
And every single person was like, F, F, F. Okay, I got 10 people with Fs. Let me call them. And I went F, F, A. Let me call a few A's.
Yes.
And I call a few A's and I go, hey. And they're like, what'd they do? And I go, I just want to let you know they're doing great. They got A's and I'm getting all the work. Everything's going good. And I'll tell you right now, the parents, what? And I'm going, yeah. They're like, oh, well, thanks, you know? And then the next day the kid comes in, I'm talking all smiles because, you know, the parent got off the phone and was like, your teacher called and said you're doing great. Wow. Okay. And they come in, they're like, hey, look at that. I got it bragged on, you know?
You know what you just did? You know what that kid wants more of?
What?
That same
approval.
Validation and approval. They're like, man, I'm going to kill it this next test, man. Watch this, Mr. Siebold.
It was wild because I saw more impact from calling the A's and B's and C's going, great job, than I did calling the D's and F's going, pick it up.
That's right.
You know?
That's right.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
It stinks, but that's the way it works sometimes. And you really got to praise the positives for sure.
Awesome, man. Well, shout out to all the parents and teachers out there. Remember that we can do more when we work together. Now, of course, Devin, this is the point where I ask you, how can people find and follow you, sir?
DevinComedy.com for all the upcoming tour dates. And also I do professional development speaking as well. And I want to say one thing on this. It's very, very important. TeacherPetCare.com. My charity is finally up and running.
There you go.
It is taking donations now. Should be by the time this airs. And also we are open to, it's got a form on there for your local veterinary clinics if they're interested in partnering with us. And you just get them to reach out and hopefully we can set something up to where we will help cover the costs of the veterinary care or adoption fees for your pets. And so
that's awesome.
That's what we're working with. And it's finally up and running. I'm able to finally take donations. And so teacherpetcare.com, teacherspetcare.com. And that's where you'll find it. So
awesome, man. I like that. I'm going to donate then.
Oh, yeah.
There you go, man. Nice.
Well, it should be up. It's not up yet by me talking to you right now.
Gotcha.
But by the time this airs, it will be done.
Gotcha. And by the time this airs, I would have donated.
There you go.
Okay. Now, you guys, please continue to follow me. You guys have been so gracious and kind to me. James Yan Comedian on Instagram and Facebook. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to Crying in My Car, a podcast for teachers, and this segment, Crying in the Car Line with Parents. Take it easy.
We'll be back next week. There might be a clip up there. There might be a clip down there. If it's got our face, if it's other people's stuff, come back. Don't click on that, you know. But us, suggested things. That's us. Crying in My Car. Devin Siebold, James Yan, bored teachers. Watch. New trailer for Indiana Jones. No, don't do that. Don't do that.